Hi, I'm the Mighty Kymm, and this is my first Floss Tube video. I'd never seen one before. I'd heard of them, of course. I'd never seen one before, but last night somebody put something up in a group, a Facebook group I'm in, saying that Mrs. Milky Bar Kid was back. Hooray! The first video she's done in a few years. And I thought, okay, and I clicked on it. And I was riveted. I thought she was great. I thought she was really interesting. The thing is, I don't want to watch anything for half an hour on my phone. I'm just not that interested in watching a long video on my phone. But I watched it and it was half an hour long and I had to go to sleep. And this table is shaking. Okay, I need to perhaps not nod my head quite so vigorously. Maybe I should lean? No. I'll figure it out. Anyway, so I watched it and I liked it and I thought, I want to do that. So I'm doing it. It's going to be less than half an hour though, that's for sure. It needs to keep my own attention, let alone yours. Anyway, I turned on the camera and of course leapt back in horror at how blotchy and red I look because it's 1,000,000 degrees outside and I don't have any I'm house sitting and I don't have any makeup with me because it's 1,000,000 degrees and I don't wear makeup when it's that hot because it just sweats down my face. And I'm like, Apple, why would you make the backward facing selfie camera quite so razor sharp and clear? Nobody needs that much detail in their backward facing selfie cameras. They really don't. But I figure it's not too terrible as long as I don't get too close. So anyway, here's my stitchy story. I started stitching for the first time in June of 2016. So I am pretty new at this. I started when I was 51 years old. So I don't know what I was doing for the previous 50 and 3/4 years of my life. But I sure wasn't stitching. But one day I knitted, and I knitted for quite a while and I really liked it, but then I got bored and I stopped. And I was like, I didn't really realize I was looking for something crafty to do with my hands. I went out and bought a coloring book. It really wasn't my bag. But then one day I saw a pattern from Julie Jackson of Subversive Stitch. And I was like, I didn't know you could say fucking a cross stitch. and I put it on Facebook and I said, is this hard? Is cross stitch hard? Can I do this? And I have a few friends who cross stitch and they're like, no, it's super easy. Go ahead. So I bought the pattern and then instantly lost it in my house. And about a month later, I got another pattern from her and I stitched that up. It took a few days and I was hooked. And I did a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I started I found out that you could do several projects at the same time. I don't know if you know about this. If you don't know about this, don't learn because you end up with 1,000,000 whips. Works in progress. For my non-stitchy friends who might be checking this out just because they like me as a person. You'll end up with 1,000,000 of them and you won't finish you won't finish things so much because you'll start Stitch Mania, which means doing a whole lot of starts in the month of May, and then you put them aside and you don't continue them, which I found when actually about a month ago I picked up one that I'd started last year and finished it, and it took me 6 days. 2 days last year, 4 days this year. And I thought I probably should try and maybe get to some of those whips just in case there's some more that are like that, because it's kind of ridiculous when it comes right down to it. So I was also going to try and do only whips, no new starts. But there's so many new starts and I want to do them all. So this month, July 2018, I decided this is what I'm going to do. Every month, one new start, one whip, and 3 pieces that I'm trying to keep on top of. So working on only 5 pieces every month. And so far it's working fine, but so far it's the 7th of July, so you know. I've only been doing this for a few days, but I feel like it's good. The 3 pieces that I'm working on, I really, really want to keep on top of. And then I like making presents for people. Fortunately, generally they're surprise presents, so people don't know that they're waiting for over a year for them. But I want to try and get them done. So I'm going to show you the 5 pieces that I'm working on for the month of July. So here's the first one, which I can only show you part of because it is a surprise present. It's also backwards. Okay, those are the words shall be. Can't show you what any of the other words are. Can't show you anything else about it because it is a surprise present for a friend. And also, sorry, I'm pulling up this info on my phone that I forgot to pull up before I started. Okay, I started it on February 7th. There's some other stuff at the top. There needs to be some more here. It's not a ton left to do. It is a surprise present for a friend who does not know she's getting it. He or she is getting it. But I'm also doing 2 other presents for other people who live in her house. So his or her house. So when I finish this, I'm not going to be able to send it to him or her right away anyway, because I have to finish the other 2, which are bigger and more complex. But I really want to get them all done by Christmas. I want to get all 3 done by Christmas. This is my goal. So I've got this one. This is a beautiful hand-dyed fabric by Joe Deary Designs. I do not have the information with me of what it's called, but you can't get it anyway because it's part of her Fabric of the Month Club, Year of Fabric from 2017, and you know, it's not available anymore. It's called like Summer Storm, maybe, something like that, if I'm remembering right. I know when I got it, I instantly wrote to her and said, send me more and a bigger piece. So I know I have more of this at home because it was just so beautiful. But I don't have that information with me and I can't find the email. So anyway, thing I can't show you. It's going to be a lot of that. Another thing I can't show you. This is my new start. So that was my whip. This is my new start, which I started on the 1st. I can show it because it's impossible to tell what it is, except that's probably a face, but nothing else. It is on just some beige 28 count linen that I got from 123 Stitch because it's full coverage and I'm not going to, waste anything hand dyed on it. But I had to start with this, you can't even see it, this invisible beige stitching on the beige fabric, and basically I had to do it 3 times because beige on beige is impossible, but that was the exact center, so that was what I ended up doing. Anyway, this is another super surprise present for somebody who is not expecting it from me, and I probably won't be able to show anymore once I get any more done of it until it's actually done and they have it in their hot little hands. So enjoy it while you can. I started it at 7/1. I had the pattern for ever. It's really perfect for them, and I'll be able to tell you the whole story when I'm done and they have it and all that. So sometime in the year 2020. Actually, again, I hope to get this one done by Christmas too. I hope to get a lot of stuff done by Christmas. Okay. Now here's the stuff that I'm working on every month and stuff that I can actually show you. I took this one off the Q-stamp so I could show you the whole thing, what's done so far. See? Isn't that pretty? That is obviously a Halloween themed piece. It is called Spooky Countdown. It's by The Primitive Hare, H-A-R-E, as in rabbit. The fabric is Fabrics by LJ, and it's 28 count Lugana in the colors fir, as in tree, F-I-R, but that's the December from the Fabric Club, December 2017 of the Fabric Club, and I'm sure it's not available. So I'm going to be showing all this pretty fabric, none of which will be available. So it's kind of like I'm going, ha ha ha, look at all this pretty stuff I have. You'd have it too if you were a member of Fabrics by LJ Monthly Club or Joe Deary's Monthly Club. I love a monthly club. Oh. Anyway, the fabric is beautiful. I think it's perfect for a Halloween design. Even though I believe it was, it was the December thing, so obviously the idea was Christmas. But, so this is it's being done as a sal. It's available as a full, the full pattern is available. It's being done as a sal, just outside of, it's not Primitive Hair isn't doing it as a sal, Isabel isn't doing it as a sal. Somebody else who's part of the Primitive Hair Facebook group said, hey, I kind of like to do the spooky countdown as a sal. It's almost 31 weeks until Halloween. Why don't we do it one block a week? And I was like, okay. So actually, I just finished that one, which is the 16th block. And today starts week 17, so I'm right on schedule, which is great because I was super behind. Not super behind, I was just a couple of blocks behind, but I really want to stay on top of this. It's pretty fast to do one of those a month, one of those a week. It really is. The tough part is that up here is going to be a big banner and down there is going to be a big banner, and that's a lot more to do in a week. And I also made a mistake here and switched these two blocks, which doesn't matter a bit because it's not one of the ones that has a number on it. So therefore, I mean, it's sort of a calendar, but it's a calendar where only a few of the blocks have numbers on it. Anyway, I really love it. I'm glad I'm caught up. I think it's really pretty. I love the color scheme. I love how it looks on the fabric, etc., etc. Okay, here's one of the other sals that I'm doing, that I'm actually trying to keep on top of. I got a bunch of sals I'm doing that I'm so far behind on it, and I live with that, you know? I get a sal, I go, maybe I'll finish it in a couple of years. Anyway, this is the 4 Seasons sal. It's an 8-week sal, so it's, this is week 1. It obviously is not done, and we ain't in week 1 anymore. I think we're in week 4 of the sal, but I'm saying I'm keeping on top of it. I'm not saying I'm keeping up with it. It is from so-and-so. I can't remember who the designer is of the sal. Sorry, designer. I didn't write it down. I wrote down all the fabric information, but I forgot to write down the sal. Anyway, this fabric is Joe Deary Designs Amethyst Quartz, 28 count cashel linen, February 18, Year of Fabrics Club. You probably can't get it. But anyway, it's very pretty. Amethyst quartz, look at that. Look how nice it is. It's even nicer without the wrinkles. But this is like a long piece like this. So I'll have some pieces, I'll have some scraps left over. But anyway, you see it's 4 seasons, so this is starting with spring. So obviously those are daffodils or buttercups. I can never tell the difference. And it's going to go down and through the 4 seasons, as you might consider, as you might expect, it being called 4 seasons. Anyway, it's new and I just started it, and I'm not too far behind, so I decided I was just going to keep on with it. Plus, it's nice and it's an easy stitch. But this last one, number 5, this one is my favorite one. This is the one I really want to keep on top of and do, and just do it consistently. I don't want to put it aside. Always want it to be part of what I'm doing. It is the Epic Storybook Princesses. Everyone calls it Epic Disney Princesses because, you know, that's what they are, but it's the official title of the piece is Epic Storybook Princesses. And it is by Clouds Factory, the wonderful Clouds Factory. The fabric is called Midnight Tryst, and it's fabrics by Stephanie. And if you can see, it is a gorgeous navy blue Oblescent Lugana, which is my favorite fabric. But this is a bitch to stitch on because it is it's so dark and it's so hard to see even when you're stitching in natural light, and it's really easy to make a bunch of mistakes. Anyway, the pattern is all the Disney princesses with all the major characters in the wait, hang on a second. All the major characters in the movie. And I'm sorry, I should have had this pulled up, but I didn't. This is so awesome. Where are you? There it is. Thank you. Okay. Come on. This is riveting. I'm a great floss tuber. There we go. There we go. I just need the character names because I forgot one of them. Anyway, each of the movies is represented with the main characters, a building or some nature plus a border. And there's, I believe, 13 of them. And this thing is huge. This piece of fabric is massive. It is almost 5 feet tall. And this is going to take like 2 years for me to do. A lot of people are stitching it real fast, but I'm doing 1 or 2 characters a week, and I enjoy doing it at this speed. I've got these other projects I'm working on. But so anyway, here's what we got so far. This is Mulan. I don't know if you can see, there's some ratty stitching in that skirt because it is no skip through the park to stitch upwards in this with this dark fabric, and the stitching is awful. So therefore, I'm not going to stitch upwards. But this is a huge piece, and I'm not undoing them. I'm not frogging that back. Anyway, there's Mulan. There's Captain Li Shang. There's Qian Po and Ling and Yao. Those are the 3 comic reliefs. This is the one that Harvey Fierstein voiced. And this is the bad guy who's Shan Yu and his hawk. There will also be First Ancestor is over here. Mushu the dragon is over here. Then there's going to be a cherry tree, some grass, and the shrine, and then a border around it. And then I'll move on to one of the other ones. Probably Pocahontas, which is the one that's right above, because they are in order. I love this so much. I love stitching it. I love looking at it. I think it's so beautiful, and it's going to be so amazing when it's done. And when it's done, this is going to be the one that I'm going to send to that really expensive woman who does the gorgeous framing, and it costs a bomb, but it's worth it because it's so beautiful. And so that is what I'm going to spend my money on in 2 years when it's done, if I keep up the right pace. If not, in 5 years when it's done. Actually, though, it's going to take longer than 2 years. Oh my God. See, the thing is, you can do that in several different ways. One of the ways is to leave spaces for the next 2 Disney princesses, which means that when I finish it, it won't be finished because there will be empty spaces waiting for more princesses. And what if it takes 10 years for there to be 2 more princesses? There's none coming up. Nobody apparently is counting Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph 2, because if they did, they'd have counted it from Wreck-It Ralph 1, and then it would have been earlier. So get on it, Disney. Moana is the last one. Let's have some more if not, if not prince. I mean, obviously Mulan isn't a princess, but female leads that we can call princesses that can go on this, so that, I mean, come on, think about me, Disney. Anyway, so that's it. 20 minutes. That's longer than I wanted it to be, but there's at least 5 minutes worth of ums. So possibly in the future I'll get better at this. So let's see. A lot of ums. A lot of shaky camera because the table is moving every time I nod my head vigorously or move my arms. I didn't have all the information I needed. I had to look it up on my phone while saying So these 3 things hopefully will be better next month. Anyway, like I said, this is the first time I'm trying this. I just like showing off what I'm working on. I think it's fun. And I hope there are some out there that also think it's fun, and that you'll watch this. I need to figure out now how to get this up onto YouTube, and how to get a subscribe button up, and how to do a YouTube channel. And so today's July 7th. Wonder how many days it'll take me to get this online. We'll find out. Also, next month, makeup. Bye! I'm the Mighty Kymm. I forgot to say that. You got to say that when you finish. You say it at the beginning, you say it at the end. I'm the Mighty Kymm.